I do want to bring in attorney Jeremy Rosenthal, who is in Texas right now. And Jeremy, as always, we appreciate you taking the time to join us here on Live Now from Fox.
Thank you, Stephanie. Not in Chicago, in Texas.
Yes, absolutely. In Texas, right there in Austin, as we take a live look right there of the capital of Austin, Texas. So I wanted to start with this because now there have been orders to issue a civil arrest warrants for any Democratic representative who is currently absent. Can you break down the difference for our viewers in terms of what a civil arrest is and how that is different from a criminal arrest?
These are far, far different animals than one another. A criminal arrest warrant is a warrant to take somebody into custody and to bring them functionally in front of a magistrate, to put them in jail. That's what a criminal arrest warrant is. This is more of an angry letter, and it would authorize somebody in Texas to take a person and bring them to the legislature is functionally what it would do. It's a specific directive. It's created by the legislature in the Texas Constitution, and it allows an officer to bring them to the Capitol, to the session. But what it doesn't do is, whereas a criminal warrant would reach across state lines with the full faith and credit clause to the United States Constitution, civil warrant doesn't do that. It ends at the state line, so it really doesn't. It doesn't solve any issue. It doesn't. There's no legal way to compel the Texas lawmakers currently in Illinois to come to Austin through that mechanism. It's tantamount to an angry letter.
So let's say that the Democrats then decide to return to the state of Texas right there. Would they be then detained if they cross back into state lines?
If they do so during this session, which a special session by law lasts 30 days. I think we're sometime into it. If they return during the session, they could be taken at that point involuntarily back to the legislature. That could happen if they were to return. One of the unique things about the Texas legislature is that our legislators are civilians. They're not full time. Our legislator is they're in session once every 2 years. And their session just ended this last June, and then the governor has the ability to call special sessions after this. But our representatives are people who work in the community. These are lawyers, accountants, shopkeepers, anything and everything under the sun, and they need full-time paychecks. They have mortgages, they have mouths to feed, they have loans to pay off. Everything that you and I deal with on a daily basis, so do they. And the legislature is not their source of income. So to take them away from their job really kind of hurts. And that's why the Democratic representatives being in Chicago still kind of hurt them. And what I would expect is that Greg Abbott's going to call another legislative session after this one ends, and whether the Democrats go somewhere else at that point, whether they stay away from their homes and their jobs and their families, that's what we keep our eye on here.
So, when we take a look at from that legal standpoint, they can't be compelled. The law, doesn't allow Governor Abbott to compel them to return, but I imagine they will have to at some point, and when you issue a civil arrest warrant, can the governor then say, never mind, and remove it? Or how does that process work? Is there a statute of limitations on that, or does the time run out?
I believe it's commensurate with the legislative session. So once the session's over, I think the warrant goes poof. Now, the governor can certainly bargain with it, and he can try to talk across party lines and try to talk to individuals in the Democratic Party to say, okay, here's what we'll do if you come home. I'll make this warrant go away. And to put it to you like this. Breaking quorum is as old as democracy, and think of it like a filibuster, or think of it like a point of procedure. It's a frustrating tactic that a minority will use in a legislative process to try to equalize the balance. And the question is well, how do you end a filibuster? Well, you can negotiate, you can wait it out, or you can try to negotiate your way out of it. And this is really no different. Legally, the Democrats in Illinois have broken no civil rules, and they've broken no criminal laws by doing so. So what they've got effectively is a bargaining chip that they can try to leverage for something that maybe they want to have happen, and maybe the governor entertains that, and maybe he doesn't. But what we're witnessing now is really kind of a lot of theater.
And part of that theater is, the accusations perhaps of bribery, right? That people are donating and paying for the fines, perhaps, that the Democratic state lawmakers are accruing right there. When it comes to that particular charge, does that hold any weight legally?
It's really hard to fathom. And even Ken Paxton said that that's going to be a challenge to try to prove. The Texas has somewhat liberal bribery laws, meaning that if a public official takes anything in exchange for something of benefit, then they're guilty of bribery. But you got to remember, these are all politicians. And when you're talking about a lawmaker who is using somebody else's money, using campaign money, using that to go travel somewhere, who's to say that that's not a legitimate expenditure? And all of these lawmakers look at themselves in the mirror and think, oh my gosh, did I do that? Have I done something like that? Also, our judges are elected. So bribery cases that involve money that goes to politicians, that's not buying a brand new swimming pool, that's not buying a brand new car, that's not cash under the table. A lot of our lawmakers, a lot of our judges really, when push comes to shove on those types of charges, get very squeamish about it. And the genesis here is political, and I think everybody would see that. So I don't know that the lawmakers in the Democrats in Chicago, I don't know that they're really afraid of that one. Again, that's just kind of part of the theater. Even when Ken Paxton is telling you it's going to be hard for me to prosecute, it's really hard.
Jeremy, as always, we appreciate you taking the time to join us. This is certainly a very interesting issue right here, politics and the legalities of all of this. We appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you, Stephanie. Have a great day.